Defining impact requires deep, introspective, and some perspective shifting work to define what it really means, both to and for you and to and for others. Hello, 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 and welcome to More Than Money, a podcast where we have nuanced conversations about money, business, and life, where we take the time to explore the human side of money because success with money is never just about the numbers. I'm your host, Jacquette Timmons, and I am really, really glad that you are here with me today. And before we dive into today's episode, I've got a favor to ask. As you may know, the last couple of weeks, I've been making it known that we are inching closer and closer to our 200th episode, and I could not be more thrilled. And I'm inviting you to help me commemorate this incredible milestone. How? I'd love to feature your voices vis-a-vis dedicating that episode to answering your questions. So go to jacquettetimmons.com/more than money -200. Again, jacquettetimmons.com/more than money -200. You can submit your question anonymously if you would like. And yeah, I cannot wait to celebrate our 200th episode by featuring your voices and answering your questions. But in the meantime, let's dive into today's episode. So recently, I got an unexpected yet delightful message from someone who attended a workshop of mine in 2019. This is 2023. She attended this workshop in 2019. And in this message, she shared the progress that she has made since then toward her financial goals. And I read her words, grinning from ear to ear, because I could not have been more thrilled for her and the work that she did to get to this point. And you know what? It feels amazing to get updates like this. For starters, they give me a chance to celebrate someone else's success. Second, it serves as a really great reminder of a takeaway from a book I read eons ago, which said, we are always giving something. We just never know what people are taking. And third, it grounds me in the awareness that despite my or your intent of wanting to make an impact, I and you have absolutely no control over how that will actually manifest or when. So while you can create and deliver something with the goal of it having a positive impact, you don't always get the privilege of knowing exactly how that will very specifically play out in someone's life and or their business. And to me, this dynamic is the reason impact as a word and a mission is both a beautiful goal and a humbling end result. When it comes to my body of work, I'm really clear that I want to shift how people relate to their money. And I believe that I have done my job if in some way or another, I have helped someone shift how they think about money, how they behave with it, talk about it, and even feel about money. And I know that this may seem really lofty, but what grounds me is knowing is that the shifts that I want for people or that the impact that I want to make, it's not monolithic. The details of the shift, as well as the extent of it, varies person by person and business by business. With my coaching clients, I have an advantage in that I have an up close look at the shifts that they've made or are making. And I have that advantage because our engagement provides that, right? It provides me with the ability to get their feedback and to see up close what they are implementing in terms of the insights that they're taking away. It gives me a chance to learn really, right? What someone is taking from our time together. And just, plus the nature of a coaching relationship, I'm able to check in and get periodic updates on the progress that they are making. This is not always possible, though, when it comes to my speaking engagements or with my content. be that content, my emails, my blog posts, social media, or heck, even this podcast. And with these, I rarely know what someone is taking from our time together or how they are applying it and the results that they are getting thereof. I am unaware of both the what and the when. Does it happen immediately? Does it happen 4 years later or some time period in between? And when we think about the definition of impact, according to the Oxford English Dictionary's definition, it is defined as, quote, a marked effect or influence, end quote. My challenge with this definition is that it is quite nebulous and it varies based on a multitude of factors. Its vagueness means that when you and I say we want to make an impact, we actually can't stop there. We have to put in some deep, introspective, and likely some perspective shifting work to define what that really means both to and for us and what we would like it to mean to and for others. And it also means then that you and I have to be bold, because wanting to have an impact or wanting to make an impact requires courage, it requires confidence, and it also requires a willingness to take measured risks. And even though I may not know the specifics of your work or even why you do what you do, if you follow my work, I feel pretty confident in presuming that you do what you do and how so that you can make an impact and you can make a positive difference, however it is you've personalized that definition. And this is one of the many reasons the message that I received was so special to me. Not only was it a lovely spirit booster, it was a reminder about the long arm of impact and how I made a positive difference for her, for someone else. But here's the thing, though. There is an often overlooked duality when it comes to the word impact. It is a word that has become the cool buzzword du jour, right? It's one that gets used so frequently that its meaning and its significance can become a bit diluted. Its nuance is almost imperceptible. And I say this because, typically when we talk about impact, it is with an outward focus because the emphasis is on how our body of work is affecting others in terms of what it is helping them to be, do, or have differently. Yet the experience of getting that message really brought to mind that there's another dimension of impact too. Its focus is inward. The message that I received tapped into, I should say, the deep emotional connection and sense of purpose that I have toward my work. It is what motivates me and sustains me during challenging times. It is what keeps me creative and in the flow more days than not. It's what contributes to my overall well-being. It is why I remain so committed to my self-proclaimed movement of focusing on both sides of the money equation, the numbers and the behavior. It is, why I really prioritize helping people to be more intentional with their choices. And it's also why I prioritize strategy over tactics in support of the people and the businesses that I aim to serve. It is what I love about my work, which is another reason the message caused me to grin from ear to ear. So, dear listeners or viewers, what do you love about your work? The internal dimension of impact. And how would you describe the impact you want your body of work to have on others? It's not a rhetorical question because I truly would love to know your answers to these questions because I'm really curious to hear about what you wrestled with to get to them. So it's not just the answer, but what did you wrestle with to get to them? And I am particularly excited to learn how you turned this generic definition of impact into one that is meaningful and significant. Because really, For a definition that is relatively simple, the process uncovering what it means to make an impact and what it takes for it to be realized is not. So send me a DM on Instagram and let me know your answers to those questions. And before I hop on a completely different note, a cool byproduct for me is when my coaching clients and workshop attendees and I become friends. Because for me, that's impact unfolding on a whole other level. Well, that is it for today, folks. As always, thank you for listening all the way until the end, or if you are watching on YouTube, for joining us there. And before you hop, if today's episode sparked an aha or reflection, I'd love to hear more. So please send me a DM on Instagram. And also, don't forget about my invitation to help join me celebrate the 200th episode. Submit your questions at jaquettetimmons.com/more-than-money-200. And just for reference, this is episode 186. So we're getting there quickly, I should say. But again, once more, thank you for listening today. If you would love to show appreciation for this podcast or perhaps this particular episode, please share it so that we can reach more people. And if you happen to be listening on Apple Podcasts, please take a moment to leave a rating and a review, because we do in fact read them. And if you are joining us on YouTube, again, thank you so much for that. And please leave a comment below. And of course, if you'd like to buy me a coffee, here's how you can do that. buymeacoffee.com/Jaquette, buymeacoffee.com/Jaquette. I'll be back with another episode. I hope you will too. Until then, remember, it's about more than money.